Hey, brother.
Hey, Al.
And welcome everyone back to another episode of Siblings in Crime. I'm Allie Rossell.
And I'm Blake Murphy.
And just as it sounds, we are siblings who love true crime.
Yes, love it.
Love it. Today's case, shout out Hannah, our researcher, because she found everything we could have ever needed and more. But this case is so, I don't even know the best word for it, bizarre, confusing, crazy. But I will say it was in Japanese. So, your girl doesn't speak Japanese. Nope. So, I'm going to do the best of my pronunciations. If they suck, they suck. But just know I have good intent. And that's what matters most.
Nice.
So, we'll see what I can do.
Hopefully you do good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You won't know anything else. So.
Yeah. Also, we hit over 250 followers on TikTok.
Whoop, whoop.
160 on YouTube. And so we're we're moving towards our goal. We hit our goal on TikTok, so now our goal is 1,000 on TikTok.
Oh. I love when you give me goals
250
live.
on YouTube. Yeah. And we're going to do another TikTok live this month.
So buckle up.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a Christmas edition.
And it's going to be a fifth episode. So there's not 4. It's going to be 5 episodes this month.
Thank you for letting me know. So I know I need to start prepping in advance.
Yep, no problem.
Well, if you haven't, please like, subscribe, follow everything else. We are Siblings in Crime Pod on all platforms. So the support is very appreciated.
Yes.
Well, let's get right into it. Rain falls softly on a March Sunday evening at the Izaki home. Katsuhisa Izaki was spending time with his family as they were getting ready for the late night. It was 9 p.m., and Izaki was bathing 2 of his children and himself while his wife and daughter were watching TV in the other room. The family was enjoying their new home, which was built just over a year prior. On the same property was Izaki's 70-year-old mother, Yoshie, who lived in a smaller home by herself next door. This was the night that changed the Izaki family forever. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's roll. All right, we're taking a trip back in our time machine, back to March 18th, 1984.
1984.
Yes.
Sick.
So not as far back as some of our other cases. Yeah. 80s is like reasonable to be able to remember what was going on in the 80s.
I mean, not really for us, but...
Well, we've seen videos.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't live in the 80s, but you know what I mean. It was just before 9...
Really fast. Remember to tell me when to guess what's going to happen.
You're not going to guess.
I know, but it's fun to guess.
Okay, I will tell you sooner than later then, so buckle up. It was just before 9 p.m. when 2 men quietly broke into Yoshie's home. They threatened her with guns and told her to cooperate. They tied Yoshie up with a phone cord and found the key to the main house next door. So remember, they're on the same property. So it's like a mother-in-law house, basically, that she lives in.
Mother-in-law suite.
Yeah, exactly. The 2 men were able to bypass the security system that only covered Izaki's home. So it left his mom's house like vulnerable and not,
on her own.
Not secure, like no security for her.
And these guys knew it?
And evidently they knew it. Because they were able to.
Inside job.
Good thinking. Yeah, the men found the wife, Mikiko, and her daughter watching TV as they broke into the main house. They took them to another room, tied them up, and told them not to make any noise. They blocked the door with a metal rod and then moved on. The other children were with their father, taking that bath like I mentioned. They're just getting ready for bed. And the 2 men entered the bathroom and demanded that Izaki get up and go with them. They gave him a towel, tied his hands behind his back, and led him to a car waiting to take him to a place where they intended to keep and hide Izaki, with him losing his towel in the process. Poor guy.
Wait, what was the last part you said?
He was tied, bound, and taken away. He was getting kidnapped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he literally had no clothes on him. And his towel was lost in the process. So poor guy is getting taken from his family. His family's all bound in the house, and he's getting taken away to an unknown location.
Is it a ransom?
Dun, dun, dun.
Whoa.
All right, so here's your time to guess.
What the freak? No, nothing. All right, let me write it down.
Okay, well, now it seems like this was just a random attack on a family who lived in Osaka, Japan. However, Izaki was no ordinary man.
Wait, stop.
I
was just about to write something down.
I
that's
knew you were
something
going to
like
say that. There's so much that goes into the case that even if you give a broad statement, there's going to be more in-depth stuff. So try to get more specific than a broad statement, if at all possible. Locked in?
Locked in.
Well, he was the president of Glico, which you probably don't recognize just by the name.
No.
Me neither. Glico is one of the largest and possibly the most popular candy companies in Japan. It is a company worth like multi-millions of dollars. And you'd probably be familiar
Probably
with their
billions,
most...
right?
Yeah, probably there's a good chance billions.
Because if it's the whole country.
Well, you probably are familiar with it. I don't know if you know the popular item Pocky. Do you remember that candy?
Not
Look
candy.
it up.
I know
Or
the
treat.
food.
It's like the little sticks. We'll have a picture of it because I'm sure you've recognized it. I don't think I've ever had it, honestly, but I have seen this before.
Like I hate those. Are so gross.
What scene? Wait, when have you had them?
Probably my mission or something.
That's hilarious. You look so disgusted right away.
Yeah, I didn't like these very much.
Well, this was
They're not terrible. I overreacted.
That's hilarious. They say that. It's one of their most famous items. Like it's like well known to all the other countries. They have obviously other candies and sweets and stuff that are probably more locally known, but that's one of their most well known.
Interesting.
Yes. Shortly after the men left, Mikiko, the wife, was able to get herself and her daughter free from their bonds. They quietly and quickly moved to find the other children, unsure if the guys are even there anymore, because they couldn't hear anything after they were stuck in a room. Mm-hmm. So they go and find the other kids, and luckily, no one else is in the home. They went on to go call the police, but they realized that their phone lines had been cut. So these guys seem like they are professionals, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What these intruders didn't know is that they actually had a basement phone as well, like on a separate line. So they're able to still call the cops.
This guy's ready for anything that happens. He's like,
yeah.
Like, I'm the president.
He's like security on only my house.
Yeah.
2 phone lines. Yeah, he seemed like he was prepared for something. The police came and took their statements of the entire family. Then they proceeded next door to Izaki's mom to see if she was in any danger. And it's so sad because obviously, like, the family was worried about their own deal going on, that they didn't even think to go check on the mom right away, it seems like.
Yeah.
But the Khalifs, the police and the cops, yikes, mix of the two, they discovered that she had been bound and tied up as well, which is crazy, that poor lady. She's just by herself, 70 years old. Mikiko
Probably fell asleep.
I hope, just relaxed. Mikiko told the police that as the men were trying to, like, tie her up, she told the attackers, listen, like, if you want any money, name your price. Don't hurt us. We'll give you whatever you want. And one of the men told her to be quiet and that money wasn't relevant. Let's keep that in mind. I thought that was odd. As we go through the story, you can be like, that was a weird comment this guy made. At this time in Japan, the police did not release any information to the public, which is shocking. Like, that, he's a high-profile guy that just got kidnapped.
Yeah.
But they wanted to keep everything close to the chest so that any relevant leads they would know are valid. So get this. That is until Izaki made his way home.
He just went home?
Made his way home. So according to Izaki, on the same day that he was kidnapped, his captors told him that they demanded 1 billion yen. So this is in the 80s, and that's equivalent to now 9 million United States, or money, USD, today. They also demanded...
They did want money.
Yeah, so that's what it seems like, right? So they also demanded 220 pounds of gold bullion. What it is just like the refined gold. It's like your classic gold bars or like coins.
That's kind of cool.
Of like the highest purity.
Yeah.
So it's like 99.5% pure.
What if it's a marketing stunt?
Ooh, that's interesting.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Look at you thinking. So that would come out to like the gold bars alone would be like 13.6 million today. So, and USD again. And they want that on top of the 1 billion yen. So they're asking for like a bunch of money, which is crazy. Izaki said that on the second day of his captivity, they gave him some new clothes to wear while they're going about their business. He said that they would come and go, like they would go to the store, bring him food. The whole time he had a bag over his head until it was time to eat. And anytime they took the bag off his head, they were wearing masks. And he says that he can never identify anyone who had come and gone. On the third day, the kidnappers went to the store, leaving Izaki by himself with no guards this time. He was then able to loosen the ropes that bound his hands and was able to break down the door and escape.
He was a hero.
He was a hero. He was a strong guy, evidently.
Yeah.
He was able to call the police and his wife, and he told them that they were fine, that he made an escape. And the police obviously went to interview Izaki right away. They were trying to glean any clues about the kidnappers. I thought you were going to laugh that he used the word glean.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
I literally put ha 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 because I was like, he's going to think it's funny. I'm using a new word.
Sounded like a normal word to me.
I know, but it's not a normal word for me. I thought that was funny. Anyways, by doing so, they were able to actually find the warehouse that he had been kept at. And it seems like it was at this like flood prevention corporation warehouse, like abandoned type of thing. So that's what we're dealing with. In the end, Izaki said that the ransom was never paid by the company. So we may never know, did Glico ever pay the ransom? But it does seem...
It's over? I'm just kidding.
It's over. But it does seem suspicious that Izaki just like was able to break himself out of this scenario. Especially because it sounds like there's multiple people involved.
Yeah.
To me, that sounded a little suspicious. But you just asked if it was over. This is not the end.
He gets kidnapped again.
So the kidnappers of Izaki, after returning home... Oh, wait, whoa. I'm going to rephrase that. I'm going to keep your part, but... let's see, this is not the end. Is that what you said?
I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, so this is not the end for Glico or Izaki or the kidnappers. Things, in fact, were just getting started. So, shortly after Izaki got home, he was safe, he was healing. I can't imagine how scared I'd be. I'm like, if these guys are coming after my money, what if they come back? And your poor family, like, obviously they know where we live, they know our security, they know all this stuff. I'd be terrified.
Reboot the system.
Yeah, get some like really intense stuff.
Yeah, armed guards.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he could afford all that stuff. So, not long after he was readjusting, he received a letter and a small eye drop bottle. You know, those like little squirter guys.
That's weird.
Along with a letter from the kidnappers. They were angry at him.
Like, we didn't see you leave.
No, you'll see. Like, we have puns.
Yeah.
No. So, they said that they were mad because he broke the deal. So, I don't know if he was like, I'll pay you the ransom. Right, exactly. Regardless, they were pissed. The letter said that in that bottle of eye drops was hydrochloric acid. They're like, okay, if you don't even believe us, test it on a yen and it will melt. Like, it's legit. So I don't know if he tested it, but the letter was littered with threats. We're going to be going over a lot of letters, just a heads up. In this letter, they threatened to abduct him again and wash his face with hydrochloric acid, which is disturbing.
Yeah.
Pretty aggressive. He was also told that since he escaped, the kidnappers said that they would kill him and his wife. The author is like, must be the leader of some sorts. He seems like he's so self-righteous. Like, he's like, I'm like trying to be the nice one. He goes on to mention, all the other guys are saying that we should kill your kids instead. Like, he keeps saying, like, these guys are like, I'm the one holding them back. Yeah. So, it's kind of a interesting approach. Regardless, he says the other guys want to kill his daughter. They want to blow up his house, shoot at his house, or spread potassium cyanide all over a school.
A school?
Yeah, just a school. Like a public threat. So they're really covering their bases. They're like, we will go as far as anything.
Yeah, we're going to do tons of stuff to you guys.
Yeah, weird. So evidently, they also had indecent, kind of scandalous photos of Izaki, maybe when they kidnapped him. And they're like, hey, by the way, if you go to the police with this, these are getting leaked. Like,
leaked?
Leaked. Yeah, these are getting leaked. So he's threatening, like, his reputation, his family, the public safety. These guys are pretty hardcore hating on this guy. Because Izaki broke their prior agreement, the kidnappers were now demanding 10 million yen for each family member. They said they'll send 6 bags, and they want 10 million yen in each bag delivered. Further instruction, this is so random. Further instruction said that they would have to put an ad, like Izaki's family, need to put an ad in the newspaper on either the 5th or 6th of April saying, quote, wanted blonde models, female under the age of 20, over 20 yen per hour contract. Contact Izaki Glico Personnel Department, end quote. I don't know why they want him to put this ad in. I don't know if he's like, they want him to look like some creepo, like looking for underage chicks.
Yeah.
I was like, are they really just trying to destroy his life, his family, his reputation? Like, how far are these people going to go? Mm-hmm. They end it with like, by the way, if you don't do this, your family has less than a year to live.
A year? It kind of sounds like a long time.
I mean,
when you're threatening someone.
Well, maybe they're like, okay, we'll give you some time to make this thing happen. I don't know what I would do. Like, those are like pretty aggressive threats.
I'd take them down.
You just go find them and take them in? Mm-hmm. Well, that'd be very impressive.
Yeah.
The ad was not placed, actually. And they actually did send a driver with the money to a drop-off location. However, when they went to go give these guys this money, nobody showed up.
These guys are not very good.
That's what's confusing. I'm like, okay, you want all this money and then you don't take the money. You tell the chick it's not about the money. Like, what do you want?
Yeah. You kidnap the guy and then you don't watch him.
Yeah, and then you let him go, basically. He just escapes. So I can't tell if these guys are really good or really bad at what they're doing.
Yeah.
So the family is definitely being targeted, but it seems as though the police force was also kind of aimed at through this entire scandal. Throughout all these like letters that we're going to talk about, most of them either sent it straight to the police or they would send them to the newspaper companies and have them publish it. I just had a stroke. Publish them.
I know what you're doing.
Publish them publicly so that everyone can see the letters that are coming from these guys.
I see.
As I'm like stuttering all over the place. So it was received on April 8th, 1984. The first letter that went out to the newspaper. Translated to English, it says, "To the police fools." Starting off strong. Mm-hmm. "Are you all stupid? What the hell are you doing with all that manpower? If you're professionals, then come on, catch us. We'll give you a hint since you're so handicapped. There are none of us among Izaki's relatives. There are none of us among the Nishinomiya police. There are none of us among the flood prevention corps. The car I bought was gray, and the food I bought was from Day, which is like a Japanese market chain. If you want more information, ask us for it in the newspapers. After telling you this, you should be able to catch us. If you can't, then you're just tax leeches. Shall we kidnap the head of the prefectural police too?" End quote. A lot to unpack there. These guys are basically just, their idea is police are tax leeches and they're incompetent and I'm going to give you clues because you're so dumb you can't find us. Mm-hmm. So the taunting begins. On April 9th, Izaki goes back to work. So the beginning of the story, this happened on March 18th. So he doesn't take much time off work. Mm-hmm.
He's a busy guy.
Busy guy. I feel like I would be like so scared. But he says that like this is something he needs to get back in the office. He doesn't want to remember what happened to him. Mm-hmm. So just the next day on the 10th, part of the headquarters and vehicles in the parking lot of Glico's headquarters were set on fire.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was determined that the fire had been started by a gasoline-soaked cushion, and it was like set inside of a Glico company car. Luckily, people saw it for like fast, and they're able to put it out pretty quickly. And really, like the brunt of the damage was just the interior of one of the cars. But it was like an obvious sign that they're like attacking the Glico company. Witnesses said that they saw a vehicle drive away and saw two men. The driver looked to be about in his 30s, and the passenger looked to be about in their 40s, and had like a permanent crimped hairstyle. So like a little bit of a wavy guy going on. Witnesses said that there was an additional man about 170 centimeters tall. Do you know how tall that is? See the way he turned over? No. I don't know. I think it's like 5'5", 5'6", something like that.
Yeah, sounds right.
Check it up.
Yeah.
170 centimeters. He was wearing a golf cap, a white mask, work clothes, jeans, and a Boston bag.
5'5".
5'5"?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that guy was
Oh
seen.
no, wait. Or 5 feet 7 inches. 5'7".
5'5" and 5'7" are very different.
No, it's 5.5 feet, so it's 5. It's 5'7".
Okay, well, 5'7" then. And he was seen running away from the area. Like, that guy looks suspicious. The 2 people in the car look suspicious. And this is really all the police could gather from witnesses in the area that they saw. So not very much like facial features, not anything
Not much
that's
help at all.
Yeah, not really identifying traits. Later that night, a different attack happened of some sorts. This is so odd to me. Somehow, through the police radio, rather than hearing like white noise, you know how like they have like their like psh, like command or whatever, like the light chatter, they were being bombarded with a different type of noise. They could hear a small voice repeating the words stupid, Glico, caramel candy, and seriously done.
Like they got onto their radios?
Like it seems like they hacked into their police radios.
Yeah.
I was like,
These
and you
people are
choose to
obsessive.
I know. And I'm like, and you choose to say caramel candy? Yeah. Caramel candy. That's creepy. I can't even, like I said, I can't even tell who they're targeting because obviously they're doing physical damage to Glico and his family, but the police seem like they're getting like a weird hit as well.
Yeah.
So they're just going above and beyond. I'm like, you guys are doing too much. Let's all relax. Okay. So the next day after this like weird radio interaction, the Izaki family received a phone call, and all that was said is, now you know what to expect. So like the fire damage, the taunts, the calls, the radio. And the police are like obviously worried for this family. They're worried for themselves. They go under a 24-hour watch for this family in their residence. I would be like, put us in the witness protection program.
Yeah.
Whatever, like, put us anywhere safe. We need to go to unidentified location. I would be so scared. I can't imagine how scared I'd be. Like, what do you do for your family in that case?
I don't know. I feel like 24-hour surveillance is good. I feel like these guys are kind of stupid. Like they like forget things, let them go on accidents. Like,
do you think those accidents are intentional though?
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to figure out this whole time. Are they super smart or are they super dumb? That's like the question of this whole story. All this happened and we're only on April 16th. So it's like barely been a month at most. On this day, a plastic container containing hydrochloric acid and another threatening letter to Glico was found. The letter threatened not only Izaki's family, but other higher-ups in the Glico Corporation. It said that it's just like some of these things are so boggling. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
It said that they will all be put into hydrochloric acid baths. The children will be killed before and then put in the baths, and the adults have to go in alive.
That's so weird.
I know. That's like literally what I said reading this entire case.
It seems like they're just getting mad because they're not responding as they want them to.
So you think they're just being extra dramatic to like try and force this to happen?
Yeah, it sounds like they're just getting mad and like, find us. Like,
yeah, fine, we'll do this instead.
We'll do this. We'll do all this stuff to you.
That is actually what it does seem like. I don't know. I can't even imagine that threat happening because obviously you're worried for your kids. Like you want to believe like these people are just all talk, but I mean that's potential to be a very actual serious threat. Mm-hmm. All they needed evidently to do to prevent this from happening to them is give them the money. If they do this, the group would forgive them, which is weird terminology to forgive them because like what are they doing wrong? Glico can't find out like, is there something that someone we did dirty? Like, is someone personally attacking us? Why do they keep saying they need to forgive us?
An old, whatever it's called.
Nemesis.
Yeah.
Rivalry.
Or like an old employee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like they're saying, like, do they even want the money? Or they just, because we tried to drop it off and they wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
So anyways, the letter also said that a bucket was placed under a bridge, and if they wanted to test out the hydrochloric acid,
they're obsessed with that.
They could stick their foot in it. So yeah, cops are starting to believe like, is there like a chemist or like, do they have like a whole gang of like different people? We have an author, letter writer. We have a weird guy that has a lot of hydrochloric acid for some reason.
Yeah, he just wants you to test it out.
Yeah, he keeps saying like, I dare you, put your foot in it. Like. So
test it out.
They're like, what is this group of people? Like, they seem like they have people from all divisions. Anyways, that's what it seems like. So they also mentioned that they have prepared 20 chocolate-covered almonds with potassium cyanide. So that's what I'm saying. Potassium cyanide, hydrochloric acid. And they're like, hey, we're going to go to different stores and place these chocolates in your boxes. So these guys seem to be all over the place. And it really actually starts to get to the police because they're like, we believe one thing and now we don't. And it's just leading down different leads.
Yeah, like, you guys are getting so annoying.
I know. I'd be like, what the heck does this mean? I would be going insane if I was these guys.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would. So with this letter, police jump into action because they said that there's a bucket of hydrochloric acid under a bridge somewhere. So like we got to go find this bucket so that someone just doesn't come across and just get destroyed by
Trip in it or something.
Yeah.
Or pick
they're like,
it up.
what is this? Yeah, exactly. And actually, a day after that letter comes in, the bucket is found, but originally is actually found from a local fisherman in the area. It contained 3.4 liters of hydrochloric acid, and a note was attached to the side. So I'd hope that no one would like accidentally play with it because there's like a threatening note on it.
Yeah.
It had that same type of threat. And in this, it points back to Izaki again. It's like, hey, if Izaki wants to die, they had an entire bath of hydrochloric acid ready for him. What is with that?
Yeah, they're obsessed with him.
I know they're obsessed with him. They're obsessed with this torturous way to kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So just like weird things. They kept saying how he betrayed them too many times. All they needed to do was abduct him again. The threat again said that he had friends in the police force. That he had friends with the newspaper, calling the police stupid repeatedly. This guy has got like big time superiority complex. He's like, I'm so smart. I know exactly what I'm doing, and you guys are all stupid heads.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet that just like pissed the cops off so bad.
Yeah.
But the letter closes with them saying that the amount of money has now doubled. So Katsuhisa, I think, Izaki, that's his first name.
Yeah.
I just call him Izaki.
Oh yeah.
Izaki should prepare the 60 million, so like the 10 million per family member. Mm-hmm. But now his company has to match it with another 60 million, so 120 million yen they're asking for now. Then
What happened to the billion?
that's what I said too. My guess, I was talking about this with Hannah, is like maybe they overreach and like, okay, we'll take the 60 million. Okay, now we'll take 120 million because we're mad.
Yeah.
And like, okay, only 120 million, and then all this would go away. Mm-hmm. They would no longer need to contact each other ever again. So that's what we guess is happening. They're like far-fetched and like, okay, we'll bring it down for you guys, but you still need to pay us money. Upon a sweep of the area, because obviously the bridge and the bucket, all that stuff, they need to find witnesses. The police actually found a few people that said they saw two men, each around 25 years old, where they were at the bridge and they left on a motorcycle. So I'm unsure if this is like the same two men that they saw at the fire. You know, there was like a driver, a passenger, and a runner. It seems like these are different ages. I feel like I wouldn't be able to clock somebody's age, especially from a distance.
Yeah.
So could these be the same guys potentially, or did they have like a massive group going?
Yeah. I have no idea.
And I'm so bad with identifying. I'm like, there's two guys. That's all I know. They could look like anything. We talk about that all the time. If I ever had to give a sketch,
it would be very bad.
It'd be very bad, and I'd feel very bad about it. The kidnappers were getting increasingly frustrated with the police, which I'm like, right back at you. Everyone's mad at each other now.
Yeah.
They sent another letter on April 23rd, 1984. It was sent to a couple of local newspapers around, as well as the Koshin police station. So I actually sent you this thing. You can read it on my laptop or on your phone, just so you can participate a little bit.
Yippee.
So this was a letter that they received, and it publicly went out to everybody, but it was directed to the police force.
All right. It says, "To police fools.
It cracks me up that they always start like that.
You shouldn't lie. If you lie, you steal. I also sent this to the Koshin police. Why are you lying? Don't hide things. Why are you complaining? You guys are having such a hard time, so I will give you a hint. I entered the factory from the staff entrance. The typewriter we use is a pan writer. The plastic containers we use was a piece of street garbage."
Thank you. So they're
That was
like,
weird.
oh, you guys are stupid. You don't know anything. Fine. We'll give you more hints. This is the type of typewriter I used. And the container, don't look into it. We just found it on the street. Like, oh, by the way, also, we use the staff entrance. Like, they give them, like, weird hints. I like the pan writer. I can't really find many pictures. But it seems as though it's, like, an old typewriter that does, like, the Japanese symbols and stuff like that. It's, like, very intense to make sure you can do all the symbols.
Whoa.
So, kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So the police obviously are like, okay, we got to chase the leads that they gave us because we have nothing to work with.
Yeah, we're struggling here.
So I'm like, are these like thieves messing with the cops? Like, yeah, we used the pan
Sounds like
writer.
it.
No, we didn't. You know, like, are they giving them fake leads? I don't know. But that's all they had. So the police roll with it, and they looked into the type of typewriter, that feels weird to say, to try and locate where any had been sold. They used undercover police for some of the money drops as well. So this is like things that they've been doing. They even tried looking into the golf cap guy for a suspicious person who ran away from the car fire. So these are the different things that they're doing, but it turns out none of them are working. Either no one's showing up to the drop sites, like the plan goes wrong. Like, there's no one that they can find that was suspiciously running with the cap. It turns out that the style of hat that the guy was running with was actually very rare and could have been more of a promising lead. Only 120 of, like, this, like, identified cap have been manufactured and sold.
Jeez, that's crazy.
I know. I was like, 120. That's, like, very rare hat.
Yeah.
They were actually able to track it down to a local high school, which I'm like, dang, a high schooler's got a really rare hat. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But only to find out that the person that had bought it had reported it had gone missing like a while ago. And so it has gone dead
I
too.
feel like I wouldn't report my hat missing.
They didn't, I mean, he didn't report it. He told them when they asked,
Yeah.
like, he reportedly said. So he's like, oh no, like, someone stole my hat. I don't know where my hat's been. And so, like, okay, we didn't find anything about the typewriter. We didn't find anything about the suspicious cap. And that's really all they had to work with. So finally, we're now on May 10th. This is nearly a month and a half after we got into all this. Glico received a letter from a person or group that finally named itself. They call themselves the Monster with 21 Faces. Okay.
Sounds very Japanese to me.
Yeah. This was named after the villain of Edogawa Rampo's detective novels and translated as the Fiend with the 20 Faces. So this author, he made this like fictional evil guy. It's either called the Fiend with 20 Faces or the Phantom with 20 Faces. Regardless, this fictional character serves as like a recurring antagonist in these mystery fiction novels. But he's like known as like a gentleman thief with like a master disguise. So that's like, it seems like what the Monster of 21 Faces is basing themselves off of.
Yeah, these guys seems like they're obsessed with this book or something.
Yeah.
And they like want to like live it.
Exactly. So they're like, okay, but the like fictional character has 20 faces. And they're like, is there 21 people in this group? And that's why they're going by the 21 Faces. And it's like, that's a massive group. How are we not catching a single one of these guys?
Yeah.
You always see in like with groups, someone always turns on each other. And so like maybe there's a chance that we can get one of these potentially 21 guys.
Yeah.
So we don't know how many people. That's just what they're speculating. But it seems as though the larger this group potentially gets, the more aggressive these attacks and these threats are. There's a podcast, actually, that we're going to have linked in it. They did like 15 years of investigation to deep dive into all this.
This one podcast?
Yeah, there's one podcast. believe it or not.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so this is like the source of all sources. They deep dive into everything. And just from my very little experience, it's hard to believe that money was like the sole purpose when they're not doing anything to get the money. But just the mention of any candy being poisoned would ruin a company. And to me, it seems like they're just trying to slander these companies. They're threatening that they're going to poison candy and that they're going to get all this ransom money, but they're not doing anything with the money, but they're more threatening the whole company just to go under. Odd to me. So with that being said, one of the more recent letters claimed to have laced Glico candies with potassium cyanide. Glico had to pull its products off the shelves, like you said, a huge recall. everywhere because
That's not
they
good.
were, they didn't specify like what type of product had this like poison in it. And so this resulted in more than $21 million in product loss.
Dang.
Isn't that horrible?
That sucks.
They also had to lay off over 450 part-time workers.
Jeez.
I mean, this is a huge company. You have 450 part-time workers.
Yeah.
So it's like these threats are very public because these guys are putting all these letters in the newspaper. So like the public is watching this unfold with the Glico company. They're seeing that they're getting...
Sounds like they're just trying to take him down right now.
Yeah, it sounds like just a scare tactic.
It's war.
It's war. Sounds like they're trying to scare everybody to me. The group continues to send letters to the media taunting the police in their efforts to capture the culprits behind the scare. One letter said, "Dear dumb police officers, don't tell a lie. All crimes begin with a lie, as we say in Japan. Don't you know that?" These guys are just such sassy son of guns.
Mm-hmm.
So the media had released part of that letter that threatened Glico, and people were outraged about this, actually. Like, why would anyone be hurting our candy store?
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the most like pissed off group were the moms of Japan.
Let's go.
They're like,
They'll make something happen.
I know, exactly. They banded together, and in their outrage, they're like, we are going to buy as much candy from this stuff from the shop as we can.
I knew it is marketing.
I know, right? That's what it seems like. Like, we're going to buy all this stuff. We are supporting Glico and whatnot. So, I mean, in my opinion, they probably bought stuff and didn't eat it. So, like, wait, what if it is poisoned?
Yeah.
But the fact that they have all these people rallying behind them is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
On June 2nd, there is another money drop-off attempt. This one is wild. So the instructions were to have 2 workers dressed in white and drive a white Corolla to a small restaurant. One was to wait in the car with the 300 million yen. Now they upped it, 300 million.
Yeah.
They doubled it again. And the other person was to wait in the restaurant. The workers even had to be over the age of 45 years old. It's like weird specific instructions. Mm-hmm. So they were specific enough that the cops were like, okay, we will abide by this and we will follow these drop-off procedures.
Yeah.
The drop-off location also, coincidentally, not so coincidentally, was barely over a mile from the same warehouse that Izaki was held captive for those 3 days. So, like,
maybe
are
they
they
live
working
around
in this
there.
area? Right, exactly. So, an elite 30-member police team was spread throughout the area. They're trying to outsmart the monster with 21 faces. Mm-hmm. And I can't imagine.
Not gonna work.
Imagine being like cops and you're like surrounding like the table. Yeah. Like, okay, how are we gonna capture these guys?
Yeah.
I just imagine it's such like an intense like scheming.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal was to finally catch one or more of these like harasser thieves. They even had one officer in the trunk of the car who acted as a last resort to stop the criminals. That officer had access to a kill switch to kill the engine if the car got like taken and sped off. Mm-hmm. So I can't imagine being that guy. Like, you have one guy that has all the money in this car. If one of the monsters of 21 Faces gets in the car and steals the car, he's in the trunk ready to kill the engine. I'm like, and then they open the trunk and you're just there? Like, that's so scary. What if they just kidnap you?
I don't feel like it's that scary.
You don't think?
No.
These are pretty
like
sound
30
like
other
dangerous
cops
guys.
that are gonna help you out.
I guess there are other guys in the area. You gotta hope that like that kill switch works though. Like then they just get like, I guess they're watching so they can like try and
chase them.
Yeah, chase. Gets in a car accident, you're in the trunk.
Yeah.
Scary thought. Anyways, another part of the plan was they were gonna have a second car, like the exact same car, white Corolla. They're gonna have the same exact license plate on it. The plan was to get the guy that was grabbing the money, force him to give them the hiding location of the rest of the gang, and then drive the fake car to where the rest of the Monster 21 Faces gang was located and arrest them all. So, like, if we get one of the guys, he's going to talk. We'll use the other car that they are expecting to see and get every single person. So, while they're waiting for the drop time, the other policemen in the area were going to be like writing down the license plate of everyone driving by. They're going to be looking up everybody, seeing if anyone looks suspicious, anyone with a criminal background. So everyone's kind of in position, ready for the drop-off time. Mm-hmm. At 8:20 p.m., a man in his 20s walked into the restaurant and up to the Glico manager that was supposed to be positioned there. He handed the manager a note and asked if he was the manager of Glico. After saying that he was, another note was passed over saying that the key to the Corolla was to be handed to him. The key was passed over, and the man, like that 20-year-old man, quickly left the restaurant. The man goes over to the car and forces the other man out of the car, like the undercover policeman.
Oh, yeah.
The man gets in the car, so like the monster gang guy, gets in the car, and he makes a run for it. He's flooring it.
Engine shut off.
Well, that's what's so sad is the plan is in motion, and they had to move quickly, but the radio contact with the officer in the trunk, like something happened. They have no communication with this guy now. I'd be so scared. Like, guys, are you there? Like, so they had to rely on him just like,
You're not meant to be a cop, by the way.
I am not meant to be a cop. I'd be so scared. I can't even play 007 when I was a kid. I was so scared. They had to rely on timing to make sure that he could hit that kill switch when the timing was right and be able to identify that it's not the cop that is driving this car. It's like this strange man. So the car, it comes to a red light, and then as it entered the intersection, the car did slow to a stop. And they're like, boom, we got him. The kill switch worked. So everyone's stoked. Police like roll up on the car, guns drawn. Like, we got our guy. Yeah. Like, we're going to get the information for the rest of the members. When they get their hands on this guy, he looked up terrified and shaking. And the man in the car started to shout, "They took my girlfriend."
Oh, wow.
I know. Got him. 30 minutes before this man would steal this Corolla and like do that whole dealio, him and his girlfriend were at the park listening to some music, enjoying their evening, hanging out. And this man comes up to their window that was rolled down, puts a gun to him, and says to like, get out of the car. Okay. The man, like this guy with the boyfriend, literally jumps out of the car intending to defend himself and his girlfriend. He has like a background of self-defense. He's like, I'm gonna like, this is my time to shine. I'm the hero here.
She's gonna love me.
I know. We're gonna get married after this. But I mean, that's a gun. That's horrible. But he quickly, boom, gets hit in the face. He's pushed right back into the car. And so he's now like injured. And they pull his girlfriend from the car and put her in a different car. And that car speds off with the girlfriend. He was instructed on what to do. He was told that he was going to go to this restaurant. He was going to get a key and drive off in this Corolla. They played this man so dirty.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, anything to protect my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like I said, the girlfriend was driven off with a third man. So there's two guys that took the boyfriend and like, you're doing this plan. Girlfriend's with the third guy. They drive every few minutes. Like, it's like a weird, like they drive for a few minutes, they park, they wait 10 minutes, they drive again. Her head is like under the bag the whole time, so she has no idea where she's at. Seems like he was trying to just get her a little bit confused. And once they get to their destination, he grabs her, they get out of the car, and he walks a little ways away, removes the cloth bag from her head, and he even actually cuts her, she was tied up as well, cuts her bonds free, and asks her if she has any money. The woman's like, I don't have any money. And so he put something in her hand, told her, wait 10 minutes, your ride will be here. He gets in his car, drives off. When she opens her eyes, she looks around. 10 minutes goes by, and the train pulls up, and he had handed her 2,000 yen for her train ride.
Wow, that's weird.
Really weird. I was like, it sounds like he was like gonna like steal, like rob her was the intent. And in reality, he's like, oh, like you're gonna need money for the train.
Yeah, we have to get you back somehow.
So are these guys looking for money? It's hard to tell. Are they good or bad? But back at the scene, the boyfriend's telling this. He's like, listen, this is the whole story that happened. He's taken into the police station for further questioning. He had no idea what was going on. He was unaware of the entire situation, that he had 300 million yen in that car. He's like, I was just told to pick up this car. I had no idea I was robbing you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Meanwhile, the police decided to just try and continue with their plan. So all this is happening so fast. They're thinking maybe the monsters with 21 faces will still meet up for the money.
Yeah.
So instead, like the officer in the white Corolla, he decides to drive over to the spot where the boyfriend or girlfriend got kidnapped and check out that area to see if there's anyone suspicious there. When he gets there, there's another white Toyota that pulls up behind him. And this Toyota like already felt suspicious. I was like riding his tail for a minute. And then that Toyota overtakes him, cuts him off, and then like speeds off through like a red light intersection. And the cop's like, okay, tries to take after him and leaves and loses the guy. Because that Toyota, they couldn't do anything about it. He goes back to the original place, like the restaurant for the drop off, hoping that they will still come, and no one does. So it was a complete bust. Like nothing worked.
Yeah.
So I'm like, these guys outsmarted the cops big time.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to take a random guy and make him get caught instead of us.
Yeah. Smart.
But then they still didn't get their money.
Yeah.
So I don't know really
Smart.
what they want exactly. The girlfriend was able to make her way to the police station with that train, and she reported that the abductor told her that if she had acted weird or if she had like overreacted or anything, she was good as dead. He's like, don't make a peep, don't be weird, don't freak out, and you're fine. She said that she was not in a position to free herself. Like, she didn't be able to get to see his face. She didn't get his license plate. She's like, I was like in a really scary situation.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame people, because I'm like, why don't you look at the license plate? But it's also like, you're in like a near-death experience.
Sounds like these people don't want to kill anyone. Actually, kind of. Seems like they just want to hurt this company.
Yeah.
But carry on.
I will carry on. The police looked into this couple. My first thought was, these people are a part of the group, and this was like their escape.
Initiation. Oh.
No, this was like their cover. Like, oh, I'm actually not part of the group. I'm just this random couple. That was my guess.
That was your guess. Wrong.
You don't know.
I know.
It's wrong.
I know.
You suck. They found that the woman was a college student, and she worked part-time at one of the newspapers that actually received letters from the monster with 21 faces. So I'm like, sus. I still feel weird about her.
Yeah.
However, she had been working as an announcer for a program on a different island for the past 6 months, so she's been away. So although she works for that company, she hasn't really been involved or around since these letters started happening. So I was like, are you involved?
Maybe that's
or
even
not?
more suspicious.
That's a good point. The man, the boyfriend, worked in an office that was somewhat affiliated with Glico and was only a few blocks away from where Izaki was held. So I'm still wondering if we really looked into these people very thoroughly. I'm guessing there just wasn't enough information, not enough reasonable cause for arrest or anything, because by the following morning, the police cleared both the boyfriend and the girlfriend from being involved with the monster with 21 faces. It seems like a fast clearing to me.
Yeah. But maybe
they're innocent,
Makes
and
sense.
maybe I'm just
Yeah.
dragging their names. The boyfriend's car was found not far from the light where the officer had tried to follow that suspicious car. Like, it does seem like he got robbed or like taken from his car right there.
Yeah.
Police asked around the area to see if they found anything suspicious, if there was any leads to be followed, and the best they got was that there was a suspicious ivory-colored Nissan Laurel in the area, and it been parked there for a while. So this actually was interesting to investigators because this was like the same type of car that was also seen when the arson attack happened at the Glico headquarters. So now we're looking for an ivory Nissan.
Ivory Nissan.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of those cars. That's like the most basic car. Have you seen what that car looks? I've never seen a Nissan Laurel. I was like, what even is that? Look it up. That is the most.
Look it up.
That is the most suspicious looking car I've ever seen. That is like your standard I'm up to something car for some reason.
What was it?
A Nissan Laurel. I was like, okay, yeah, these guys are bad. It's probably the most basic car ever, but still. So one of the local newspapers ran a story that morning with a headline that read, Glico Arrest. And it was a story that had been printed stating that the police had arrested the criminals involved in the operations the night before.
No way.
But
They found them?
No, this is a rookie move. That is a mistake. I don't know why the newspaper thought that. I don't know what got spread, but they're like, oh, we found the bad guys and people are under arrest.
Maybe they're trying to set up the bad guys. The bad guys will be like, no, we're still out here. And then they're like, there they are.
That's funny. True. Well, the problem is are you okay?
Yep.
The problem is the newspaper worked to retract the story because what happened was not many people knew that they were conducting this operation. People within the police force didn't even know about this operation.
It was fake?
It was real, but it was like
Oh.
like a specialized group of officers.
Oh, undercover.
And because of this, it actually caused like a lot of distrust. Like even other officers like, why aren't we involved? I didn't even know that we were going that deep into like one, offering the money, two, even investigating these guys that thoroughly. And so a lot of anger and just distrust started growing within themselves. And again, like the public versus the police. You hear that all the time. The public's like, they don't tell us anything. They're keeping everything secretive.
Yeah.
One of those scenarios. In an attempt to repair the damaged trust, a press conference was held. Classic. A description of the suspects was released. So these are the most basic potential suspects ever.
They're like 5'7" Asian man.
Exactly. Keep your eyes on the lookout. He's Japanese in Japan. Exactly, though. He's like, okay, suspect A was around 45 years old, 168 centimeters tall, and had a low voice and carrying a rifle. I'm like, carrying a rifle? You think he's just going to be walking around with that all the time?
He's like, oh, freak.
Put that away. Exactly. And then suspect B is approximately 30 years old and about 173 centimeters tall. Suspect C, the man who abducted the woman, was described as around 25 to 30 years old. And that's the best they got. No physical descriptions.
Yeah. Everyone that's that height is going to be like, oh, crap.
I know. But that's like probably most people.
Yeah.
I don't know what 168 centimeters is. Probably like 5'5". Kind of on the shorter end, but.
He's probably taller than that.
But we're also in Japan. So maybe it's not that abnormal.
Yeah.
And so they were like, okay, we'll give you guys some information. It's the most basic information, trying to rebuild the trust.
Yeah.
And they actually go as far as like, this is like, it's kind of sad and cute. A little 9-year-old girl, she like writes a letter to the Glico company and she's like, we need to find these criminals because I miss your candy.
Yeah.
And
cute.
I know, it's cute, it's sad. She's like, I want my favorite snacks.
Yeah.
So Glico actually put it in the newspaper with like a response. And they're like, we thank you for your support and we hope everything goes back to normal soon.
Yeah.
So the public seems to be pretty involved in what's going on. So June 26th, 3 months into this whole shebang, the Monster Gang sent another letter to a local newspaper. The letter stated that they're pleased with Glico and are going to forgive them.
Nice.
First of all, I'm like, what is there to forgive? You have been kidnapping, harassing, threatening. Like,
They're
what
like,
are they?
we did it.
I know. What are you doing to these guys? This is what they say. The Glico president has hung his head low for long enough. The letter goes on to say that they have a member of their group that actually has a 4-year-old, and she cries often because she wants Glico candy. And they're like, you know what? This has gone on too long. The letter continues saying that Japan has become too hot and humid for them, and they plan to leave for Europe. And when their work is done, maybe they'll come back in January. This is so odd.
Yeah.
They're like,
So it's over?
They're like, hey, listen, like, good job, police. They say even Sherlock Holmes himself couldn't have solved this case. Don't beat yourself up. So ridiculous. So the question is, like, did Glico secretly pay them? Some people actually question, like, did they pay the ransom but don't want it public so that like other people aren't gonna try to do something like this?
Yeah.
We don't know the answer to that. Everyone says they didn't, but it
It's a
seems
marketing stunt.
so. It seems kind of weird. Well, for a while, it seemed that things were back to normal. Glico and Izaki and his family were no longer being harassed, and they all lived happily ever after.
Sweet.
Just kidding.
Oh.
Psych, gotcha. No, not quite. They didn't have happily ever after because in October. So they said they're not going to come back to January. We're only in October, and they're back.
It's cooling off.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we were on summer vacation. October 1984, a letter had been sent out to the mothers of the nation. Mothers are a big deal.
I'm tired of these letters.
Me too. Evidently, mothers are a big deal. Like, they're writing to the mothers. Yeah. The letter had been forwarded to multiple newspapers, as always, saying that 20 packages of Morinaga candy had been poisoned. We shift our focus.
Not Morinaga. Maybe these people maybe they're health freaks. They don't like candy.
Maybe. So they're like, oh, Glico, we're going to give you some space. Morinaga, we're after you.
Yeah.
So maybe it worked that they got the money and they're like, we're going to go again.
Yeah.
Or maybe they didn't and we don't know any better.
Yeah.
Police started to search stores starting with Tokyo and moved along until they reached the west coast of Japan, evidently deploying as much as 1.3 million officers collecting evidence and data.
Jeez.
I was like, wait, you guys have 1 million officers? That's a lot.
Yeah.
They found over a dozen boxes that had been tampered with, and they all had like a warning sticker on it. Danger, contains toxins. So in my opinion, little old me who knows nothing,
Yeah.
if you're trying to hurt somebody, you probably wouldn't give a warning that this potentially could kill you. Which keeps leading me back to, I don't think they want to hurt anybody. Are they just trying to ruin reputations, hurt these companies? I go back to that all the time. More boxes were found later in February 1985. So that was October, now we're in February. They're still around, bringing the total count of tampered boxes to 21. The monster with 21 faces also threatened to add more poison candy, but this time without the warning label. They're like, we were so nice before, we're not even going to tell you guys which ones are poisoned anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
These guys are getting more evil.
So I'm like, are you guys actually want to hurt people now or what? They even went as far as saying that if demands were not met, they would poison the candy of a different company with no notice, and they're just going to target all these dang candy companies hardcore, and for what? Stupid.
Yeah.
On November 1st, 1984, a letter was sent to the home of Morinaga Vice President Mitsu Yamada. I think I butchered that this time. I've been practicing all day and night. Yamada. The candy we might know best from this company is none other than one of your favorites, High Chews.
Skittles. Oh, High Chews. That's good too.
You love High Chews. The letter stated, "To President, you saw our power, didn't you? If you disobey us, we will destroy your company. You will get killed. Decide whether you want to give us money or do you want to see your company destroyed. Tell us in the...
What do you do?
What?
What do you do?
Well, hold on to your horses. Tell us in the Mainichi newspaper on either the 5th or 6th of November. Use the missing persons. Use these words in response. Gyro, Morinaga, mother, police, bad friend, money, and meal. We want 200 million yen, signed, Monster with 21 faces." So I'm like, are you just saying that they need to add all these key words so you know it's really him? Like,
Yeah, it's weird.
very odd, very specific. They're like, here's your options. Okay, what are you going to do about it? The Morinaga company was forced to reduce its production by 90% that same day due to the poisoning threats. So even if they're not poisoning, just the reputation alone is going to destroy a company.
Yeah.
The Japanese government steps in and they're like, hey, we can't follow these bad guys. We can't do what they say. But it's like, all these companies are like, hey, if there's poison candy, we can't just keep operating like normal and pretend these guys don't exist. So they just can't risk it. Morinaga decides to just like PR campaign where they're giving their like pamphlets to employees that instruct them on how to handle the press. So they're like, if you get contacted, say these words. And
we have that.
Exactly, we have that as well. As well as they are like having trainings of how to like watch for suspicious behavior and to be diligent and see if any products are tampered with.
We have that too.
We have it all. That's true, actually. So they're like going hardcore on being diligent is what they're going for. Despite their efforts, no one could stop this same pattern that's been going on for over a year now.
Yeah.
A demand for money and a drop-off plan for that said money. The police were working around the clock trying to find these people. More letters came, no leads, all the same stuff. I'm like, how are they giving you so many letters and you can't even find one of these 21 suspected guys?
Yeah. That's crazy.
It is. On the morning of August 12, 1985, Police Superintendent Shoji Yamamoto walked to a parking lot near his home.
He died.
Carrying a can of kerosene.
Why?
For over
Is
a
he
year.
the one?
For over a year, he had led the failing hunt for the monster with 21 faces, taking every taunt and setback as a personal disgrace.
Hey, it's all good. It's
So good.
it's just candy.
In a final act of responsibility, he poured gasoline all over himself,
Jeez.
struck a match, and set himself on fire.
Man, that's crazy.
Neighbors rushed towards the flame, but it was too late. His suicide shocked Japan, a tragic symbol of the immense pressure surrounding this case. Japan, like, wow, they're all about honor. Like, that is crazy that you go to that extreme, be like, I am letting these people down.
Yeah.
And of course, word gets back to this gang. 5 days later, the last letter comes in from the monster with 21 faces. It was sent to the local newspapers, of course. It says, quote, Yamamoto of Shinga Prefecture Police died. How stupid of him.
Jeez.
We've got no friends or secret hiding places in Shinga. It's Yoshino or Shikata who should have died. What have they been doing for as long as 1 year and 5 months? Don't let bad guys like us get away with it. There are many more fools who want to copy us. No career Yamamoto died like a man, so we decided to give our condolences. We decided to forget about torturing food-making companies. If anyone blackmails any of the food-making companies, it is not us, but someone copying us. We are bad guys. That means we've got more to do other than bullying companies. It is fun to lead a bad man's life. Signed, Monster with 21 Faces.
Dang, that's the end?
So, after this letter, they disappear forever.
Wow.
They never come back into the light. Not once. The statute of limitations on kidnapping Katsuhisa. I always say it wrong. Sorry, man. If you're around still. I mean, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. But Izaki expired in 1995. And the statute of limitations of the attempted poisonings expired in the year 2000. So it is estimated that they used over 1 million police officers. They received over 28,000 tips and interviewed over 125,000 people of interest.
Never found him.
No one was charged for this case ever, and now it's beyond even being charged.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, 0 named suspects.
Dang.
So
It's the guy who made Bitcoin.
Random. So I'm going to wrap up with two potential suspects. They don't have a name for these guys, but these are the guys that are most commonly talked about with this case.
The guy who's 5'7" and the guy who's 5'5".
Yeah, basically. The suspect A and suspect B.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about a few potential eyewitnesses throughout the case, but one really caught media's attention. There was one man that came across a few times that they linked to the Monster 21 Faces, what they suspect. They call this guy Fox-Eyed Man. So this is what like a little sketch looks like.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah. So they named him, like I said, Fox-Eyed Man. On more than one money drop attempts, people think that they saw this man. On one of the many money drop attempts, an officer who looked similar to the CEO was chosen to do this drop. Like, okay, you look like the CEO, you're going undercover, you're going to go make this money drop. As he was sitting on a train, he noticed that he was being watched by a man who had these fox-eyed eyes. Mm-hmm. When the officer approached, the fox-eyed man quickly left the train. And so he was beyond reach of being able to catch him and get him for questioning. Mm-hmm. In another botched drop attempt, a police officer who had nothing to do with the case actually saw a car idling near a drop spot. Like, he didn't even know, like, the operations going on. He just saw this guy hanging out there, idling. And when the police officer goes over to take a look at this guy, see if he is okay and stuff. Yeah. When he shines the light in the car, he saw the man sitting there, a cap over his face. And the man turned to look at the officer with those same fox eyes that had previously been sketched. And then
what's a fox eye?
He sped away. What that looked like. The money drop had been unsuccessful. Yeah. I think it's just like
squint, like eyes close together.
Yeah. Yeah, look it up, I'm sure. Because doe eyes are like circles. Fox, I think, are like more like curly at the end. But that's just my opinion. But honestly, a great description, because I would never identify someone with fox eyes. The police and Glico thought that maybe, like you said, the fox-eyed man was maybe a disgruntled employee from the past. Maybe in the late 70s. Specifically, a man named Manabu Miyushi. Ooh. Oh, I said that wrong. Miyuzaki. Yep, Miyuzaki. Fox eye. Yeah. So there had been many whistleblower incidences from 1975 to 1976, And Miyazaki claimed that Glico was dumping industrial waste into local rivers and drainage systems. And on top of that, this guy's dad was also the boss of a local Yakuza, I think, group. Basically, he was part of the mafia, the Japanese mafia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like a pretty intense man as a father.
Yeah.
And on top of that, of course, he bore a striking resemblance to the Fox-Head Man. The Tokyo police looked into his alibi for each incident.
Yeah.
And because he had rock-solid alibis, he was cleared from all wrongdoing, which is such a bummer. I think that's the closest they got to anybody.
Yeah.
The Tokyo police were like super bummed about it, of course. But with Miyazaki, he had like a sudden rise in fame because everyone's like, oh, it's him. And he capitalized on that. He went on to be a social commentator and wrote a book about his experiences. So he's like, I want a price tag because you guys dragged me through this.
Yeah.
Outside of him, the only other suspect potentially was this guy that was caught on videotape, known as the videotaped man. Clever. Following a threat to poison Glico, a store recorded a man in a baseball cap slipping a Glico chocolate into a display. At first, nothing seemed off. The worker behind the counter noticed that the man had come to the store, stood by the candy, and left without buying anything. But when the worker went over, he found that the man had left tampered candy behind and a note taped to it that read, "This has poison in it. If you eat it, you will die."
Oh, wow.
I was like, that seems like a very prime suspect.
Yeah. Sounds like right up their alley.
I know. The man was described as wearing a tan jacket, baseball cap, and wire-rimmed glasses. The candy was shown to have one piece of tampered candy that had sodium cyanide in it, actually. A lethal dose that could have killed over 15 people.
Jeez.
So that was for sure one of their guys. But because he didn't look suspicious at the time, he was long gone before the worker ever saw anything happened. The security image was made public after the incident, but no one was able to identify him. And that's like the little image that they have shown. Of course, it's like hard to tell. It's like grainy side profile and stuff.
Yeah.
In the end, the monster with 21 faces didn't just outsmart the police, they outlasted time itself.
Yeah.
With the status of limitations expired, the kidnappers, arsonist, and cyanide-threatening extortionist can never be punished. Like, they won, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Japan was left
Spooky.
they were left with traumatized candy industry, a dead superintendent, which is heartbreaking, and a case file thicker than most phone books, filled entirely with dead ends. And so the monster with 21 faces lives on, not in prisons, mugshots, anything like that, but in the unanswered questions that still keep investigators awake 40 years later.
Wow.
And that is the case of the monster with 21 faces.
Dang. That's cool.
It's not...
And crazy. Not cool, but that was an interesting...
Well, it's cool that they didn't harm anybody.
Except for the superintendent.
Yeah, the self-harm of it.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine, like, driving someone crazy to go do something like that is so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, that is the only death from this whole year and a half of scandals and crime.
Dang. Want to hear what I said?
Yeah, tell me.
Kidnapped for ransom. I think maybe the guy was a businessman or a politician and they are wanting money or to change some kind of law. And it might have been a family member.
I like all that. Well, I feel like I didn't get enough information of like what the police really looked into. Like, not a lot of it is available because I'm like, did we look into the companies themselves? Like,
yeah.
I'm like, not that I'm throwing shade at Izaki.
But that would be like an extremely like expensive marketing campaign. I feel like they wouldn't have poisoned stuff, just done the kidnapping, and then it was like, our president's back.
Yeah. Huzzah! Everyone's like, let's go support.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like the old employee, I feel like looks like the most most likely. Yeah, thank you. Likely suspect. Mm-hmm. But that's really the only person they've ever gotten the closest to.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I'm like in shock. 40
and then why
years.
do a different business too? Did he work at another one and got fired there too?
I haven't gotten that much information on him.
Yeah,
that's a good question. So I'm like, I wish I had everything, like every lead they looked into, because I feel like, how is that not solvable? That's what boggles my mind.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays it probably would have been solved pretty easily.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, hopefully with like cameras and everything, you know?
Yeah.
So pretty wild. I just thought that was such an interesting story. So
Yeah.
I'm glad Hannah found that one for us.
Let's go, Hannah.
Let's go.
All right. And now for true crime news. All right. Tennessee man burns his father's body.
I'm sorry. That was such a horrible start. That caught me so off guard. Okay. Give me a little more than that.
All right. Police in Tennessee have arrested 56-year-old Richard Wilder after investigators say he hid his father's body and burned the remains in a fire pit behind his home. Detectives found bone fragments that were later confirmed to be human. Wilder is charged with abuse of a corpse, and investigators are still determining the cause of death. The case is unfolding, and more charges could follow.
Okay, so that's obviously true crime news currently.
Yeah.
So do they suspect he probably killed him then? Because abuse of a corpse is not the murder charge.
Well, they don't know what killed him, so they have to
can't
figure
do
that
that,
part
yeah.
out. So.
I mean, I'd be shocked if it's only abuse of a corpse, but
Yeah.
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Disturbing.
And story number 2: Mississippi woman gets life for killing her best friend.
What?
A Mississippi woman, 21-year-old Angela Pierce, has been sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years for murdering her best friend, Cody Smith. The killing happened in 2022, and prosecutors say Pierce shot Smith, hid his remains in the woods, and later admitted she was under the influence of drugs at the time. She pled guilty to first-degree murder and armed robbery, telling the court, quote, "It should have never happened."
That's sad.
Yeah, drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
You do stupid stuff, especially that's an extreme case, but that's horrible.
California parents convicted after decapitating 2 children. That's crazy.
They're 2 children?
I don't know. Probably because they're parents.
That's a good point.
Horrific case out of California. A couple has been convicted of murder for the death of 2 of their children, whose authorities say were decapitated. 2 surviving siblings reported years of abuse inside the home. The parents are now facing life sentences, and child welfare agencies are reviewing how the family remained under the radar so long.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
And those 2 kids, the remaining kids, lost their siblings and their parents, and oh my gosh, that's like the worst story ever.
Yeah. Brooklyn man kept dismembered remains in his fridge for 2 years.
Ooh, what the freak? That's weird.
Yeah. In New York, a Brooklyn man has been sentenced to life after admitting to stabbing and dismembering another man, then storing the victim's remains in his refrigerator for nearly 2 years. Detectives discovered the body parts during a welfare check. Prosecutors called it one of the most disturbing cases they've ever handled in years. Wait.
So we don't know this like relationship between them. That is so weird. Is that
a lot of these are
unfolded?
very. I think so. A lot of these are like newer, like going on currently.
I'd be curious to know more about that, because how do you just get in that situation?
Yeah, they probably got in some kind of altercation, stabbed him, and then like, freak, I need to get rid of this guy.
Yeah, I feel like that's not the approach. You just put him in your freezer for 2 years. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
I feel like you just don't kill anyone.
I agree, actually.
Yeah.
You got me there. That was some pretty wild news this week. So, well, that's all we have. That's all we have today. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with Ohio State. That's like the biggest game that I can't believe I almost just skipped.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
We beat the team up north by a lot.
Heck yeah, we did.
Yeah. So that was nice. I don't need to talk about it anymore. So I'm just happy. Let's move on.
Just stoked.
Yeah.
And they have a game on Saturday.
Yep.
So if anyone's out there in Arizona, Blake's looking for a watch party. So
it's true.
Let us know. But thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode of Siblings in Crime.
Adios.